Some of y'all say, wait a minute, I got to govern my life by this word, because if I don't govern my life by this Bible, I'm going to end up missing what God intends for me to have. God, you got to help me preach through this. Let's help me break this atmosphere. Do me a favor. Push somebody, say, go first. Go first. Dr. James, that's the definition of 21st century leadership. Not that I'm too arrogant to follow, but I'm confident enough to be the first one out of the, come on. It's not that I'm in a place of arrogance, Clarence, but I understand that God is pushing me into a place of leadership. I need somebody to jump up who ain't scared and just holler first. Oh God, I'm getting ahead of myself, Pastor Maya. This is the word of the Lord. Go first. That's what leadership is all about. That's why God needed you in the ship, yeah. That's why God needed you in relationship. That's why God needed you to stop listening to negative nobodies and govern your life by the Bible. Holler first. I came to get every one of you whom the devil has discouraged. I came to get every one of you whom the devil has been lying to for years, and to confirm for you what you've been hearing. Oh my God, help me. What you've been sensing in your spirit that just needed some apostolic affirmation for you to properly discern the season and the time. God said to tell you, go first. You don't need a model. You don't need an example. You don't need anything or anybody to emulate, because the grace of God upon your life and what God has given you to do and how God has given you to do it, God told me to tell you, you are the model. Some of y'all sitting around waiting on something to emulate. God said to tell you, you are the example. See, some of y'all still scared. I need you to go and jump up, prophesy, and say, I am the model. Go ahead, say it, Dr. New. I am the example. Oh my goodness. And I heard the Holy Spirit. This is what I heard him say, Pastor Tim. You are the prototype. Level thing that God's gonna use to change the game. Y'all not talking back to me. I need Casey. I'm that next level thing that God has been working on in secret, Trail, that once God releases me to the public, it's gonna change the game. Y'all still not talking. I said I'm the next level thing that God has been working on in private, and when God releases me to the public, it's gonna change the game. Look at your neighbor, tell him you don't even know it. You a game changer. God said they overlooked you. Oh my God, but that was a blessing. See, you didn't know it back then. They didn't know it back then, and neither did you. But them discounting what was on your life and the misguided devaluation of your gift was divine. Sonny, you better hear me. Watch this. The misguided devaluation of your gift, that was God. Watch this. God wouldn't allow them to see your real worth, because if they would have known who you really were, if they had a known, Carla, what you were really worth, they would have misused you and they would have abused your gift. So God said the blessing of the last season, mama, was that I hid you in plain sight. And you can't allow God's divine protection to end up looking like rejection, because what you thought was rejection was actually protection. Y'all, write that down, somebody. What I thought, Tanya, that thing hit your spirit, didn't it? What I thought was rejection was actually God's protection. And the crazy thing is, I've been standing here the whole time. But God said to tell you, I hid you in plain sight. So the people who didn't deserve you wouldn't have the opportunity to play you. He said, I hid you in plain sight so the people who didn't deserve you wouldn't be able to pimp you for your gift to serve their purpose and their selfish agenda. It was God's will for them to overlook you. I need y'all talking to each other. It was God's will for them to overlook you. You would have been leading in another organization that has nothing to do with your future. It was God's will. Oh my God, I'm preaching to myself, Maya. It's God's will for them to overlook you. It's God's will for them to discount the grace on your life. It's God's will for them to look past you and to look through you and to act as if you're not standing there and like you don't exist. God told me to tell you, I did that for you. You're about to go from no movement to becoming a movement. Lay your hands on him and shout, first. This is the apostolic and prophetic word over your life in this season, Isaac. Go first. Don't worry about who ain't already done it. That's your job. Don't worry about who you don't have an example. You're the example. Y'all miss what I just said. Don't worry about who hasn't already done it. The reason nobody's already done it is because that was your job. The reason why you ain't never seen it is because that was your assignment. You are the one who's supposed to demonstrate what 21st century leadership looks like. And God said to tell you, go first. There is a demand on your gift. The market is demanding your gift. And what your gift was valued at in the last season, it's going to be worth twice as much in this season. I need you to find somebody who ain't jealous of you and tell them what they paid me this time last year, they're going to have to pay me double this time next year. Y'all, oh my God.